So it's been a little while since I've made a video. I was really busy in 2016. I wrote a book, I was running my business, I was in grad school, and as always, I was living my life as a woman, wife, and a mother. So guess what? Now it's 2017 and I want to make more videos. Today I'm going to be discussing what I'm currently reading, but I would like to hear from you. If there's anything that you would like to hear me talk about, because I'm in a lot of different communities. I'm in the booktube community, I'm in the planner community, I'm an author, I'm in the grad school community, I'm a mother and a wife and a military spouse. And I'm looking to expand some of my topics. So if you would like to hear me speak about certain things or talk about certain things, dive into certain topics, if you're interested in hearing me tell you more about my book, or go into any of the zillion of topics I enjoy talking about, if you know me or have read any of my writings, or if you just are inquisitive, please leave me a comment down below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at being Mrs. Mom. So let's dive into what I'm currently reading. Okay, so I went and grabbed a few of my other books, but first let me talk about Mortimer Adler and how to read a book. So I am reading for my research in grad school. I am researching Mortimer Adler, and this book, my daughter asked me, "Mom, why are you reading a book on how to read a book?" And the thing is, he had a profound voice in education, adult education, and so I decided to pick this one up because as a reader I thought it was very interesting to see what someone in the educational field would say about how to read a book, and I need to do research on him anyway. So there are a few things that he talks about, and I'm not completely through the book. I'm still in the process of reading it, but there are a few different things that he talks about in the book that are very interesting. And one being that when we are first taught to read, we are only taught to read the smaller books. And so we read word by word, we read out loud, then we read in our subvocally, and we also just read, we go from page to page, and we don't really do what is necessary when we begin to go to the next stage of reading, which is that someone going in the next stage of reading stops the reading subvocally. They no longer use their mouth. They read concepts instead of word by word. You read like 2 to 3 words at a time, and then you go through the book. You read the front cover, you look at the spine, you read the back cover, you go to the table of contents, you flip through the book, and then you go through each chapter of the book and you actually look at the highlights, the bolded sections, and things like that. And of course somebody wouldn't want to do that if they're reading a fiction book. Maybe just read the front cover and the back cover and then look at the table of contents if there is one. Some books have them, but some don't. But what this allows the brain to do is to begin processing the book itself before you actually dive in and read it. And so you already begin reading a book just by observing all of these things. So that is How to Read a Book by Mortimer Adler. Oh, and Charles Van Doren. Okay. So the next book that I am currently reading is also for school, and this is Philosophy of Education. So I am very deeply in this book right now. I have an essay to write every week on a topic from this book and another book that I'm reading, but I'm not going to post because I have tons of educational books that I'm reading right now for school, but I'm just going to share this one. This is a really good book, not just for someone who is going through a grad program or thinking about teaching or anything like that. It's a good book because it really goes into what has been thought about education in itself. And just as a reader, a person who enjoys reading, it is very interesting to see how the concepts and thoughts and things have been put together to develop our reading system, our programs, our systems of learning, and things like this. So this is by Ned Noddings, and I'm currently reading this. I'm still going to be reading it for about 3, 4, maybe 4 or 5 more weeks, because of the process that my professor has us reading it in class. This book is The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. Let me tell you, this is a fantastic book. You talk about I'm not done reading it yet, but when you think about how many things you want to do in life, how many habits you want to develop in life, how many habits you want to break in life, how many things you want to do in life that require habit, you just look at your overall, and even if it's just you want to read more books, because I know I see a lot of people in the BookTube community say I want to read more books. Or maybe you're a planner and you say, I want to be more strategic. I want to have a better plan for my life. Or maybe you're a mom and a wife like me, and you're saying there are things that I want to have structured in my everyday life that I can do for my family and for myself. Well, this book really takes a look at the human ability to develop habits and how we work. Everyone else is taking advantage of how we build habits. We have to begin to do it. And he explains this all throughout this book. I had already started reading Mortimer Adler's How to Read a Book, right? So I kind of thumbed through the book, and I looked at the cover and the back cover. I looked at the table of contents, and then I went to the back. And there were some instructions in the back. It was basically like a recap. And it gave me such a great understanding of what he was saying and where he was going. Then when I started reading the book, everything was unfolding, and it's so interesting. So far, I'm not done, but so far, I definitely would encourage you to pick this one up. If anybody has had to read for work, and I know everybody has to read for, we've had to read when we're going through high school. If you had to read going through college, you know that there comes a time where you just have a brain fart. Like your brain just does not want to do anything else. But I still want to keep my mind stimulated. So there are things that I do for fun with my hands and with my family, but there are times where I just need to read something for fun. And so right now I am in the process of kind of trying to decide what I'm going to be reading for fun. And these are my choices. I have Nicholas Sparks' The Choice. Thinking about this one, I read the cover, I read the prologue, which was nice. And then I just wasn't sure if I wanted to keep going into it. So this is one of my choices. And then I have Agenda 21, Into the Shadows by Glenn Beck. This is a book I started back in 2016, really, really early on. It may have even been 2015, but since then I had written my book, Being Mrs. Mom, Being a Christian Woman, Wife, and Mother, Living in the 21st Century. Yeah, so since then I had been working on my book, I was running my business, I was working on grad school, and so I kind of took a break from some of my readings, but now that I'm done with some of my other projects, I am back on task with my reading. And so Into the Shadows, Agenda 21 is something I'm kind of halfway through it, so I'm trying to think maybe I should finish it. So this is one of the books that I'm currently reading it, and I was reading it the other day. And then the other one that I kind of started reading, I read like a few pages in it, and I'm trying to figure out if I want to. This is called Sunday Brunch by Norma L. Jarrett. And it is a story about, I think it's 4 women who are attorneys, and they have different lifestyles. They're married, single, and they're looking for. They come together to on Sundays to to meet as girls do, and they are trying to get to a different place in their life. They're all dealing with life situations. So I thought this would be really interesting because it seems like it would just be relaxing. And so this is a Christian fiction book. So yeah, I start choices right now for fiction. And that is because, I am a firm believer that no matter what you're doing in life, you have to make time to rest and to breathe. And so during those breathing moments, I have been reading The Power of Habit, but this really is also causing my brain to be stretched and to think about the concepts that Charles Duhigg is putting forth. And so sometimes I just need to relax and read something, and so that's where these come in. And then in my spiritual growth and development group, we will be reading Being Mrs. Mom. So this is something that I'm going to have to be reading through too with them. So and if you are interested in purchasing my book, I'm not sure if you've been to my blog. If you have not, go check it out at beingmrsmom.com. And if you have or are just interested in showing your support or reading my book, you can find this on my blog at beingmrsmom.com. Click on the link that says order my book, scroll down to the bottom, and it'll take you to a link where you can purchase it. It's also available on Kindle and on Amazon. Just type in Being Mrs. Mom, and I think both versions will come up. So this is what I am currently reading right now. This is I don't think this is an accurate picture because I actually have my grad school books, but this is a little bit of something, This is a little something of what I'm currently reading right now. So life is mainly mother, wife, woman, read, and then I have a few client projects that I am finishing up. So thanks for taking the time to stop and watch. Follow me on Instagram at Being Mrs. Mom, Instagram and Twitter, and check out my book, Being Mrs. Mom. Thanks. Until next time. Bye.